You've probably learned a few strumming patterns like this one. But if your playing still sounds stiff, choppy, or just off, it's not the chords, it's how you're playing the pattern. In this video, I'll show you 3 super common ways people play strumming patterns wrong and the simple fill-based fixes that make you sound way smoother right away. Let's get into it. Most beginners treat patterns like a password to unlock a song. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Got it. But the pattern isn't the goal. The goal is to make it feel like real music. Steady, loose and groovy, even when the chords change. So let's fix those big 3 mistakes I see all the time. All right, so I'm sure you've seen this magic pattern everywhere, which works for thousands of songs. The problem is most people play it like this. The hand is starting and stopping, and you can hear the whole groove just kind of trip over itself. So what's the fix? Well, the hand never stops. Instead, I want you to think that my hand is a pendulum and it never stops moving. So even when you don't hit the strings, your hand is still moving through that space, and they are called ghost strums. So I'm just going to mute the strings of my fretting hand here, and we're just going to slowly count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and while we're doing that, we're going to move our hand to every count, right? Down and up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play every stroke, right, on every count. And then I'm going to, straight after that, I'm going to add 2 little ghost drums in there. And then you'll hear that that pattern is that pattern that we just played before, the campfire classic pattern, right? The one that opens thousands of songs. And the difference is just adding 2 little ghost drums on the count of 1 and on the count of 3, right? So I'll show you what I mean. This will be every stroke, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to add a ghost drum on 1 and on the count of 3. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right, back to every stroke. Now 2 ghost drums. 1 So on the parts where you don't hit the strings, it's very important that your hand keeps moving and travels past the strings, right? And it just missed the strings on purpose. Now we can play this over a chord of your liking. I'm just going to play a G major here. And I'm going to play that same strumming pattern, missing the strings on the count on 1 and also on the count on 3. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, guys, if you do like this feel first approach, I've put together a starter pack that's absolutely free for you to download. I'll link it in the description box down below. It's got a few go-to strumming patterns, some feel-based exercises, and it's got a couple of easy campfire songs laid out step by step. Feel free to download that one whenever you're ready. Rightio, let's get on to the next fix. So the next one, we're going to demonstrate the simple straight 8s pattern, which is just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But most people do it like this. Technically it is right, but it sounds way too flat, and we want to avoid that. So we're going to fix this with some dynamics. How hard or how soft you hit the strings. We're going to keep the same pattern, right? So down, up, down, up, down, up, just like that. The way we're going to count this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what I want you to do is on 2 and 4, I want you to add a little accent in there, right? And an accent is just a little bit more energy, right? You're really emphasizing that stroke, right? It kind of sounds like a snare drum of some sort. So it might sound something like this, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and... You can see how there's just a little bit more energy on the count 2 and 4, right? And it feels like there's like a bit of a groove to it. Once you get comfortable doing that, I also want you to be a bit lighter on the upstrokes, right? Pretend you're just kind of brushing the strings and not attacking them. Just on the upstrokes like that, so. See, I'm very delicate with the upstrokes. I'm not hitting all the strings at once like this. Very delicate. So you can just practice this on staying on one chord, guys. I'm just gonna play a G major here, and I'm gonna count out loud 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm gonna make sure on the count on 2 and 4, it's gonna feel like little pulses there. And then I'm gonna be very delicate with those upstrokes. And also not just the upstrokes, all the strokes in between, but particularly those upstrokes. You really just wanna kind of feather the strings. And this is gonna create some nice dynamics, and it's gonna create this kind of groove to it, right? So this is how you practice it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and emphasize 2 and 4. Be a little bit gentle on the way up. And all the other strokes in between. Just kind of feather the strings. You don't want to go. Right? You want to have a bit of groove to it. It's a big difference. All right, and last one, this is a pure timing issue. Most beginners actually play the right strumming patterns, but they don't line it up with the bar. They either start the pattern late or they change chords too early and the whole groove just feels off. Alright, so the fix is simple. First, we want to count the bar out as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is going to let us know where we are, right? And then we want to change our chords on that last upstroke, right? And normally this is on the count on 4 and. So if we're learning the classic campfire strumming pattern, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, that little upstroke, right, on the 4 and there at the end is the perfect time to launch onto the next chord, right? It's going to give us momentum and it's going to keep the groove nice and tight. And then you land the new chord cleanly on the count of 1. So again, the best way to practice this, guys, is just count in your head 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And on that last change, that is when you want to release your fingers and then you want to land that chord on the count of 1. And this is just going to keep everything in check. It's going to sound much more musical, natural, and so much smoother. So if this helped in any way, guys, I'd love you to hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want a few ready to use patterns plus some simple exercises to train your timing, dynamics, grab my free Play by Feel starter pack, guys. I'll link it down below. It pairs perfectly with what we learned today. Thanks again for joining me, guys. I always appreciate you being here and I'll catch you up in the next one. Cheers.